Welcome to Survey of the Old Testament, Summer B at University of the Southwest. My name is Reverend Dr. Helen Boursier. I'm an ordained minister in the Presbyterian Church USA, and I have a PhD in practical theology. A lot of my research has been done in the Old Testament and its significance and relevance for the 21st century. So I'm excited that we are going to be spending this time together this summer to get to know the Old Testament well and how it relates and applies to our life here, now, today, in the 21st century. I want to begin by explaining to you the various projects which are outlined in the syllabus, which is posted online in Blackboard, just to give you a good overview of what you can expect. First of all, the very first assignment due date thing that you'll need to do is a one-page reflection. It is required to prove your participation for all financial aid students, and it is due week 1 by midnight Sunday, which is Sunday, July 5th. And I realize it's 4th of July weekend, holidays and things like that, but you'll need to find a place and a computer where you can upload it, because it is a core requirement and absolutely has to be uploaded by midnight Sunday. It's simply a one-page reflection on the Old Testament and its relevance today, why it's important, what its number one message is, what I like about the Old Testament, what I don't like about it. It's just about really your understanding where you are right now before class officially begins, where you are in this place. So you could sit down today, type it up and post it, and you'd be done with your assignment and could go on with 4th of July weekend. And then the next gradable project assignment is the servant leadership participation, where you will embody the theology of the Old Testament of caring for the widow, the alien, the poor, and the orphan, and work in mission for 2 hours in a specific place that you mention and get approved and post on the Blackboard. This is what you're going to do. The details are again outlined in the course syllabus and also specifically in the rubric. So you'll do an activity serving in mission and then write a 2-page reflection. Again, there's specific of what you need to do as you reflect on ver, huzgar, and actuar, which is a reflection process that comes out of Central America, where ver, you see something, a specific person, place, event, activity within that mission project that you worked in. Huzgar, you discern, judge how God is speaking to you about it. Why does that one event, person stand out in your mind? And then actuar, how does that call you to act, be, do, and change your perspective? So that 2-page reflection following up on your work and mission is due on week 4, midnight, July 26th. And then there's a social media project, as if social media existed in the Old Testament, a group project to do a Facebook or blog together as a class, where you pick from one of the characters mentioned in your syllabus, which would include Noah, Abraham, Moses, Samson, Bathsheba, Joseph, Ruth, Jezebel, Esther, Elisha, or Jeremiah. So any one of those, and then you do the research and have a conversation as if the social media did exist in the time. And this is 200 points and 20% of your total grade. It's due week 5, and the due date is August 2nd. The next project then is that you will teach some portion of the Old Testament to children. You can either do this on a summer VBS or a Sunday morning Sunday school class. You choose the text, you choose the teaching, you develop it, you then actually teach it, and then write up a 1-page summary of your learning process experience. And this is due completed with the summary and everything done by week 6th, so posted by August 9th, and that's 20% of your grade, 200 points. Then your final exam is an AV project. It's titled Manna and Mercy. What does it look like to follow the theme of manna and mercy from the book of Genesis straight through, all 39 chapters? And this is a 5 to 7 minute AV. You can do it as a PowerPoint that you just then upload and push the button and it starts, and it's 5 to 7 minutes. Or if you have the ability and you know how to do a YouTube link, then you're welcome to do that and post the link for that. It takes 40 to 50 frames, allowing for the dissolve time, to do a 5-minute AV. There are 39 books in the Old Testament, so that gives you one frame for each of the books in the Old Testament. So you're going to need to be thinking, what is the main theme and story that I get out of each one of these? As you're reading, to make this process easier, you're going to want to have a notebook or an online journal where you say, boom, I'm done with Genesis, that's the key point. I'm done with Exodus, that's the key point. I'm done with Leviticus, that's the key point, as you continue on. So when you come to the end of the 7th week, you're all set. You string it together, upload it in PowerPoint, and it's done. You've done that layer of learning along the way. And that's 200 points, due week 7, August 16th. And then the final 20% of your grade, 200 points, is for participation. There are the weekly readings, the weekly assignments, which are interactive. You'll be doing APA style, how to do footnotes correctly, so you're not surprised when your written grades come back and you didn't know what you're doing. You get to practice in the beginning, and that's part of the weekly participation. And then there are 5 posts per student per week. You need to post those Monday through Thursday, comments about the readings and responses to the questions that I post on there. So again, see the syllabus and your rubrics to get some really detailed information about all of this. That's why the syllabus is so long, so that you get as many questions answered up front as possible. My goal for each one of us is that you would own it. That you would own something about all 39 books in the Old Testament. That someone could holler out the name of any book in the Old Testament and you would say, I know that book. Maybe not every aspect of it, but there's something in Daniel that I understand and I know about. There's something in Hosea. There's something in Ecclesiastes. And that these names are familiar enough to you that you can connect the stories and know what's at stake, not only in the time and place of when they were written, but why these books matter now in the 21st century in a postmodern context in the West. I also want you to understand that we are studying all of this from an academic perspective. So there's some hard reading to do, some hard understanding to do, might open your eyes. It's very different reading academically than it might be listening to a preacher on Sunday morning. But we're also looking at this from a Christian perspective. What does this holy word say to us in our world and in our life? And so the third perspective then is, how is it relevant today? Why bother reading this? Why bother teaching this? Why bother? What's at stake? Why does it matter? And our conversation partners along this will be the postmodern hermeneutic. Hermeneutic is a fancy academic word that means interpretation. If you would look at it as the postmodern perspective, or the lens, like glasses, through which we view our world. And then also we'll be looking at it through the context of servant leadership. What does it mean to know and live and embody the teachings of the Old Testament in servant leadership in our world today, where God has called us to be? It's going to be an exciting 8 weeks. It's going to go fast. We're going to have fun. Peace.